Hello everyone. Today we are going to cover Unit 5, that is File System and Device Management from OS. And it is under CO4, that is Course Outcome 4, which is Analyze Various Memory Management and File System and Device Management Techniques. From this, we have already covered the Analyze Various Memory Management Techniques, and now we are going to cover the File System and Device Management Techniques. So, first part, we have to understand what is file. The concept is a file is named collection of related information that is recorded on secondary storage such as magnetic disks, magnetic tapes, and optical disks. A file is a named collection, means every file has particular name, and related information means the information that is in the file is related to each other. And it is saved or loaded on, or we can say recorded on secondary storage. The secondary storages are magnetic disks, magnetic tapes, and optical disks, etc. In general, a file is a sequence of bits, or we can say file is a sequence of bits, bytes, lines, or records whose meaning is defined by the file's creator and user. Means the meaning of that particular file can be defined by the file's creator, or we can say user. Now we are going to see what are the attributes that is concerned with a particular file. So every file has name, identifier, type, then location, size, protection, time, date, and user identification. So first we will see the first attribute is name. It is the only information which is in human readable form. Means only name of that particular file we can read. Identifier, the file is identified by a unique number within the file system. Means every file has been tagged with a integer number that will be unique within that file system, and with that particular number we can identify that file. So next attribute is type. It is needed for systems that support different types of files. Means there are different types of files, and we have to specify particular type for that particular file. Now, next attribute is location, pointer to file location on device. In that particular attribute, we are going to uh, store pointer to that particular file location on device. Now, next attribute is size, the current size of the file. This attribute, value of this particular attribute may change with the time, but what is the current size is specified in the size attribute. Next is the protection. This controls and assigns the power of reading, writing, executing. Is who is going to read that particular file, who is going to write that particular file, who has the authority about the execution of that particular file is specified in the attribute that is protection. And next is time, date, and user identification. Yes, these attributes we are going to store above the file when that particular file has been created, and security, protection, and use. It will be used for monitoring of that particular file. Now we will see what are the operations that we can have with the file. So first, every operating system must provide, or we can say must support, the environment in which the file operations can be done. So first file operation will be creating a file. Two steps are necessary in that particular creation of that particular file. Is there are two steps are important. First thing is the file system must be found for the file. Means first thing is that we have to find out the space of for that particular file in that file system. And second thing is an entry for the new file must be made in the directory. We have to enter the file's details in the directory. That means location and all. Second operation of the particular file is writing a file. To write a file, we make a system call specifying both the name and the information to be written to the file. Means we have to specify the file name and the information that we are going to write in that particular file. With the help of system call, we are going to write in a file. Give, given the name of the file, the system searches the directory to find the file's location. Whatever name we have provided, with the help of that name, that we are going to search the file in the directory. The system must keep a right pointer to the location in the file where the next write is to take place. The right pointer must be updated whenever a write occurs. When we are going to write into particular file, then write pointer should be at the location where we are going to write in that particular file. And after completion of that particular write operation, we have to update that pointer also. So that is the thing about the writing a file. Then reading a file. To read from a file, we use a system call that specifies the name of the file and where the next block of the file should be put. In the deliveries here also we are going to use the system call in which we are specifying the file name and the location of that particular read operation, or we can say pointer. Again, the directory search for the associated entry and the system needs to keep a read pointer to the location in the file where the next read is to take place. Once the read has taken place, the read pointer is updated. So, same like the write operation, we have to update the pointer is related with the read operation. It is now repositioning within a file. If we want to reposition within the file, then what we are going to do is the directory is searched for the appropriate entry and the current file position pointer is repositioned to a given value. Repositioning within a file need not involve any actual input output. This file operation is also known as a file switch. Means we have not referring any pointer and updation of that particular pointer is not to happen in this particular operation. Just we are if we are in read mode, then if at particular point we are going to read and I and you have to shift on the fifth line now, then just we can shift. That is nothing but the repositioning of within the file. Now, next operation is deleting a file. To delete a file, we search the directory for the named file. We have specified the name, file of that particular name of that particular file, and with the help of that name, we are going to search the directory. Having found the associated directory entry, we release all the file space. Means whatever space we have allocated for that particular file, that we are going to free up so that it can be reused by other files and erase the directory entry. And we are going to uh, free up that particular memory space and so that other files can use that memory space and we will erase that entry from the file system also and directory also. So now next attribute is protection. Access control information determines who can do reading, writing, executing, and so on. Who is going to access that particular file is we have to specify that is nothing but the access control information, and that is referring to protection. This attribute must be there with the file. Next is the truncating a file. Truncation means actually we are not deleting the file, but whatever content of that particular file is going to be deleted. So, truncating a file is nothing but the user may want to erase the content of a file but keep its attributes rather than forcing the user to delete the file and then recreate it. This function allows all attributes to remain unchanged except for file length, but lets the title, lets the type be reset to length 0 and its file space released. Means whatever contents are there in the file that we are going to delete. That means whatever length of that particular size is going to be 0, and whatever other attributes are there that will be remain unchanged. So in brief here, what is file of what are several file operations have shown in a figure that we can refer so that you can understand easily by referring single figure. So next is the file type. First file type is executable file. Extension for that executable files are .exe, .com, then .bin or none. None function of that executable file is ready to run machine language program. Executable file means it is ready to run file and which will be in machine language program. Next file type is object, that is .obj or .o. Then it is compiled machine language, not linked. Means after compilation, the obj file has been created, and that is compiled machine language. And the file is in the machine language and not linked, means libraries are still not linked. So next file type is source code. That is the extension of the source code is like .c, .cpp, .p, then .ps, .177, .asm, .a. In that particular type of file, we can store the source code in various languages. Next type is batch. That extension of batch file is .bat or .sh. .bat is for Windows and .sh is for Linux. Commands to the means what is the function of this batch file is commands to the command interpreter. Means using these type of files we can put the commands to command interpreter. Now next type is text. That is extension of the text file is .txt or we can say .doc. Textual file data documents we can store in this particular type of file. Now next is web processor, that is .wp, .txt, .rf. Then uh, function of this type of file is various word processor formats we can store in this particular type of file. Library, that is .lib, .e. Uh, in that we can save the libraries of routines. Then print or view .ps, then .dvi, .gif, .pdf, ASCII. In this particular type of file, we can store the binary file and ASCII codes type of file. Then archive is the type of file, and extension for this type of files is files .zip, .rar, .tar, .gz, .arc. related files are grouped into one file. Means zip file, we have already familiar with this, and sometimes compressed. So we have to use these two files to compress several similar types of files. Uh, this is for today's lecture, and we will continue next part in the next lecture.